home box office takes a brief intermission and will return on the hour with our next feature presentation.
Okay, listen, that taxi's tall, green taxi was slow, yeah?
Yes, we'll lose them and even in the taxi.
This was terrific. What's wrong with that?
Good show,
Well, why don't you leave that alone? That's wonderful.
Yeah?
We love it.
Okay.
That looks a bit modern.
Here, wait a minute now.
Yeah, that looks modern. Oh, it all brings it back.
The Other Side of Midnight is essentially a fantasy, a very romantic story. What made it so attractive to me as a producer was the time period in which it took place. It's the eve of World War II. Everything is happening very fast. Everyone's passions are high. Danger and glamour go hand in hand. Every man in uniform is a hero. Charles Jarrett, the director, is superb with actors, and we have created a mood in which two very romantic but completely different women will fall in love with the same man, and with his uniform and his medals, and all that he and the period represents. What I want to do is make the audience feel the same sense of urgency, the constant reminder that tomorrow may be too late. So we are going to go to great lengths to reproduce every detail of a world that almost compels people to fall in love, to grab the moment, to be carried away by their own romantic impulses.
Hey, what is it?
It's our last day together.
I know, isn't that great?
Great?
Yeah. I mean, you see, the great thing about the last day is that it also means the last night. And Noel, we will have a last night to end our last nights, my dear.
Marie-France Pizier plays Noelle Page. She is a very young and a very naive girl when we meet her. A girl who has already been disappointed and betrayed by men, but who somehow still knows nothing of the world. Noelle's very romantic, extremely passionate, and when she meets a dashing young war hero who literally sweeps her off her feet, she does what so many women do. She falls head over heels in love.
This is the boy, and that's the girl. How will it all end?
And when he betrays her, it's like something snaps within her, and she goes on a completely different route in her life.
Women have allowed men to get away with a lot more than men allow women to get away with. A man can be promiscuous, and it somehow adds to his macho image, his masculinity.
Susan Sarandon plays Kathy, the American girl off a Midwestern campus. She has a much more traditional sense of the romantic, but in her own way, she's just as vulnerable as Noelle. One might say that they are the same women.
Action!
In spite of all the smart talk, I guess I'm just Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. I'm moral. I'm silly. And I'm scared.
Kathy learns late what Noelle discovers early. And her sense of self-survival.
What's your name?
Noelle Page.
Noelle Page. Noelle.
I would like to not have it changed. There is someone I would have know about me when I become a star.
You do have style. Now, we must see if you also have talent.
Oh.
What it has been interesting for women here is the idea that she's a very strong woman, that when she wants something, she goes through to get it.
Do you know where you're going?
I have an idea, but I can't say for certain. Bye-bye, Philippe. I love you.
Action!
Don't send anyone for your belongings. Sleep with the Germans, Noel. Sleep with Hitler. He'll make you a star.
No man can keep Noel with him, so for them she became a dangerous woman.
He'll give you Belgium. With your bedroom talent, he might even give you France.
Cut.
It's the 1940s. Paris is occupied. The war gives momentum to all of her emotions. Noelle's desire to succeed becomes an obsession. And with her beauty and her talent, and her single-minded devotion to realize her fantasy, she swirls through a world of wealth and fame and power to get what she really wants.
She decided to become somebody very important, very powerful, very strong. She used men for that. And at the same time, she's always thinking about finding back the man she loved.
You are trifling with me.
So she lives two lives at the same time. And for me, the very, very curious thing in the character of Noelle.
If Kathy had gone through at the time that Noelle went through the things that she went through, there's no telling what she would have been, you know.
They start out the same girl, and events in their life change them. Kathy is vulnerable, and I think the audience will have sympathy for her, understanding for her, and respect her for the fight she puts up for Larry. She has simple values. She loves him, and when it comes to a crisis in her marriage, she fights for him. And Noelle and she are both fighting for the same man in different ways.
Come on, let's, look at that. Let's go this way. Look, 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 look.
You're having a good time, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's nice. It's the last straw in a lot of ways. She's trusted him and given him another chance and believed him when she knew she shouldn't have, and believed that it was her fault when she knew it wasn't. And finally he turns to her and says, okay, this time we'll give it another try, we'll make it. And she says, fine, and she throws herself totally into it. And the light goes out and she's left there, you know, and suddenly she realizes that not only has he done it again, but she's been a fool to let him do it, and she's walked right into it. Sure, she's very bright and she's very facile and she catches on quickly, and that doesn't mean at all that she's prepared for what she has to deal with.
Nobody saw me. I had to see you.
You're stupid to come here.
You must do it now, while she's asleep. Now, quick.
I think that she fights to believe in Larry because she wants to believe in the world and her vision of the world, which involves trust and love and all those things.
I think the idea of love in the idea of revenge, it's important too. It's not only to throw down somebody, it's to get him back.
We are, in a sense, one step of the characters. We know they're heading down this road to ultimate ruin, and we don't know quite how they're going to arrive there until the final scenes in the picture.
Action! It was 1939. We began in Paris, before the war, with two women who just happened to fall in love with the same man. We want the audience to feel how Noelle, who is very clever, and Kathy, who is much more naive, became bound to each other by the one thing they had in common, a romantic fantasy. Everything in this film is evocative of the period. Examples of extreme wealth and power, all are colored by the spirit of the times. I set out in 1976 to make a 1939 movie, big and romantic, one where the audience wants to identify with Noelle Page and with Kathy Alexander, to identify with being hurt and hanging on and fighting back. That's what I hope you'll be looking for on the other side of midnight.
Constantine Demiris, who has the power that extends beyond wealth. The power that knows the price of every woman's heart and every man's soul. The suspense, the intrigue, the emotions that explode when fantasy collides with destiny. 4 unforgettable people living the romance, the passion, the excitement on the other side of midnight.
This concludes our intermission. The next feature begins momentarily.